Hello, and welcome to our brief introduction of the order of operations. While most of the website assumes that you've studied it before in class, this little section here is just a brief reminder in case it's been a little while since you've taken a look at the order of operations. The order of operations is basically something that came about hundreds of years ago in order to solve confusion, right? Let's just take a simple example. Let's say you had a job and the guy is going to pay you $10 plus $7 an hour, woo, and you work for 5 hours. So we have 10 plus 7 times 5. And the problem here is that I have two operators, addition and multiplication. And you can do that in two different ways, right? I can, of course, do the addition here first, so that this winds up being 10 plus 7, or 17, times 5, which gives me 85. Or I can do the multiplication first, in which case this is going to wind up being 10 plus 35, and when you add those together, you only get 45 bucks. Now, I don't know about you, but I of course would rather be paid $85, but I bet you my boss would much rather pay me $45. So we have this problem of which one is the correct way. And hundreds of years ago, they decided the order of operations and how it was going to be done so that math would always come out with the same answers. And the order that they decided to go with breaks down into a few categories, right? And the highest category that we have that we'll deal with here is parentheses and grouping symbols, right? So you have brackets and curly braces and all these different grouping symbols. Then, right below that, we have the next big category of operations, which are exponents, right? So 5 squared, x to the 4th power, all these kinds of things. Right? After you've dealt with all of those, then the next block that we have to deal with is multiplication and division. And we do that together from left to right. And then the last block that we need to deal with here is subtraction and addition. And we also do them together from left to right. And these last two boxes actually are what give people a lot of problems, and we have whole web pages here designed to help you understand what this means, this left to right stuff. So with this sort of thing, we can make sure that we can take a rather complicated problem like this, right, and make sure that if I do it, or you do it, or they do it in China or Mexico or on another planet in the International Space Station, they're all going to get the same answer. So we go ahead and we start. Up at the top link here says parentheses and grouping symbols. So I'm going to go ahead and use that here, and I do find that I have parentheses, right? 8 minus 3, and 8 minus 3 gives me 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep everything else that's in the problem. And this is an excellent strategy, and there's a web page about working vertically down to help you explain why we do it and what good is it for you. So I go ahead and I get rid of my parentheses here, and then the next step that I'm going to use is exponents. So my exponent here, I have 5 squared, and of course 5 squared would be 25, and I keep bringing everything else down. Then my next box that I'm going to deal with is multiplication and division. So I look here, I have one multiplication, so I do 4 times 10, which is 40. So I have 25 times, or plus 40. And then finally I do my addition from left to right. So 25 plus 40 is 65. And, oops. And the reason we do that is that this always gives me the same answer. If we use this particular set of order, parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, division, then addition and subtraction, everybody gets the same answer on all the math problems, and we don't sit there constantly arguing over the answers. I hope this little refresher course has helped you remember. Other web pages will have much more detailed about some of the steps and some of the things that people have particular problems with. I thank you for watching.